Hello. Not sure if anyone is online yet. I'm just going to refresh my video, see what's happening here. So if anyone's there yet, say hello, guys. I'm just going to go to where I'm streaming this from because I'm doing the whole multitasking of phone and laptop. So let's see if it comes up. Live streaming. Oh my god, it's so hot today. Let's see. Okay. Hello. Hi, Louise. Hi, Life in Galaxy. This is so funny. So leave me questions as we go along. I'm going to keep looking at the chat. So hello to anyone who is new to my channel. I'm Harry from Harry Makes It Up. Hopefully lots of you are here that do know me. This is really weird being live because I'm probably going to say lots of things wrong and get really sweaty because I'm generally a very sweaty person, and it is 24 degrees in Los Angeles today. So, hi Harry talking from Argentina. Hi Lola. Hi from Mexico. Hi Paula. Oh, it's so lovely when I see you guys join in. So I just thought I'd share with you kind of my everyday makeup, what I'm doing. I am so hot today and I forgot my Kiehl's SPF 50. So I'm going to do a bit of primer first. Hi Elaine. So I'm going to use my Tarte Flawless primer. This is the Clean Slate 12-hour one. Wouldn't say it's 12 hours, but it's a nice dupe for kind of the Victoria Beckham one that I love, but it's crazy expensive and sold out. So can you all hear me okay? Let me know if it's coming through okay with the sound. Sweaty girls unite! Woo, Elise! Yes, I will forever be the sweaty girl. But it is very hot today, so I feel like I have good reason to be sweaty. So I'm going to use the IT Cosmetics CC cream today, the Your Skin But Better one, because it has SPF 50. So at least I know I'm getting some SPF, even though I did brilliantly forget my normal Kiehl's SPF 50. So I'm just blending that primer in. Not sure about the quality we're going to get with this video, but I just thought it'd be fun to do some live streaming and have a little chatty video while we get ready. So I've even wrote down questions I want to ask you guys. So let's have a look. Sound is good. That's awesome. Why did you move abroad? From Sarah. Why did I move abroad? Partly for adventure, really. I think part of me just wanted to try something new. I love the weather here. The weather is a big part of it. I'm not going to lie, coming from England. I've got my makeup bag next to me, so let's do a bit of IT Cosmetics. Ooh, where is it? CC cream. There we go. I'm going to do this with a brush. I'm actually going to use the IT Cosmetics brush as well because I love this one. This is the Heavenly Luxe Complexion Perfector. So I moved, like I said, I was very, very lucky that my husband also wanted to travel and to live somewhere else. I've lived in London for like 12 years and I just thought, time for an adventure. And the fact that my husband wanted to do it as well with me, I consider myself very lucky because it meant we could both share this experience together. And, you know, for my work as well, there's a lot of interesting work out here. So that's obviously another big part of it too. Let's have a look. Hi from Wales. Some advice to, you say hi to me. Advice to a beginner makeup artist. The first thing is just to test lots. So testing means kind of building your book and meeting with different photographers, meeting with different hair artists, etc. And a really good way is to approach model agencies' new faces. So if you go to model agencies and see if you can work with their new faces, they might even want to get you in to do the model Polaroids as well when they kind of sign new models. So that's a really good way. I'm going to have to hold a mirror as well just to make sure that I am actually applying makeup correctly. Can you buy the CC cream in Europe? I think Beauty Bay sells it. I'm sure I've seen it on QVC as well. So check both of those out and I'll get back to you on that to confirm later. But yeah, so I'm just doing a little bit of the CC cream. And I'm doing quite a light application today actually because I'm literally probably just going to go take my friend's dog for a walk. We're house sitting and dog sitting for our friends these next few days, which is why we're in Santa Monica near the beach, which is one of my favourite areas. Venice as well in Los Angeles is beautiful. So we'll just give that a nice buff in, even though I'm probably going to sweat it all off. Watching you eating dinner. Love it, Lorraine. That's amazing. Okay, were you ever a resident makeup artist for a brand or have you always been freelance? When I first started at university, I did some kind of training like Paul and Joe and like counter brands, which helped pay for my university fees, etc. So I did do a little bit of that. And that was great as well because obviously you're not always working with 15-year-old models, you're working with, you know, every kind of skin tone, every age, so it's really good practice for you as a makeup artist. And I do really recommend that as well, especially if you're starting out. It's great just to practice on as many faces as you can. So let's have a look, but never specifically with one brand. I've never kind of been with one brand. Were you ever, nope, done that one. My under eyes always crease with my concealer. How do I prevent it? So I think one thing that's really important to take into consideration that we have to be realistic about is that we do, no matter how old you are, even if you look at babies, we all have some kind of creasing under our eyes, unless you've had some work done. So I think with the under eye creasing, it's one of those things that there's a certain amount of what you've got to accept and then the rest we can do is makeup. So for example, a damp beauty blender is a really good way to push it into the under eye area. Also doing thin layers rather than one big thick layer, as that's always going to crease. Hello Harry, hello Christine. Oh, thank you Sarah, that's really nice to hear. Favourite skincare brand? I feel like I can't commit to one brand, guys. That's like, you guys are always going to ask me that question and I'm probably always going to kind of skip around it. I love Skin Iceland, I think they're amazing. Affordable brands like Eucerin are really good. I love Kate Somerville, but that's very pricey. So I feel like, you know, it's about what your budget can afford and, you know, looking for the right ingredients. And that's something I do go over actually in my course, all about that base. So I go through all the list of ingredients and specifically how you can find the ingredients. So whatever your budget is, you just know what to look for on the back of a bottle, because a lot of those good ingredients are on affordable brands as well. There's an amazing brand called The Ordinary by Diciem, I think it's called. They do like spot on skincare ingredients for like £10 or less. Let's have a look. Oh, that's so nice. Someone said something so peaceful about watching you apply makeup. I'm like that. When I watch people on the tube, I get a bit like, oh, it's really relaxing. But there's no tube here now. I live in Los Angeles. So it's just buff a bit into my neck. This is going to be very stop-starty makeup, isn't it? What should we do next? I think I'm going to leave my concealer because it's just, my face is melting. What shall we do? I'm going to do a bit of tight liner with the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Pen. This is funny actually, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this directly into the phone, so we've got a Sula. We've got a Sula, guys. There's going to be many Sulas today, I think. So I'm just going to tight line with this. Really love this in the tight line, this Marc Jacobs one. Just makes it instantly darker. Let's have a look what's saying. Please watch your jewellery collection sometime. That's from Robin. Yeah, I can do if that's something that would interest everyone. Did you study makeup in a school as a career or just with courses and practice? I did all three. So I did go to London College of Fashion. I did a college course at my local college when I was really young, so when I left school. But that had to do like special effects makeup as well for that. So it was kind of a bit of everything. So I did 2 years of that once I first left school. Was always practicing on friends, always practicing. My poor sister, like literally she just was forever like, Lucy, come here. And you know, I wasn't the gentlest makeup artist at the age of 14. I think I was a bit like, keep still, and would like shout at her, bless her. She was like, you'll never be a good makeup artist if you shout at people. So yeah, so I just did all three. I did do the course in London and then I went into assisting other makeup artists, which I did for sort of like 3-4 years. So in total, my training was probably like a good 6 years. And then I just went into testing and doing my own thing. And I think you never stop learning. So hopefully that answers that question. Also makes Diciem. Yeah, I think that's, we've got some hands up. Whoop whoop. Yeah, that's such an affordable brand, guys. Let's have a look. Favourite items from Skin Iceland. Guys, you should know this by now. It's got to be the Nordic Skin Peel pads. I've had those now for like, I think 4 years. I've loved them and I always repurchase them. So absolutely love those. So let's go on to brows. Let's do a bit of Bobbi Brown Longwear Brow Pencil in the shade grey. Bloody love this. This has really become like a firm favourite for me because it's one of the only kind of crayon pencils that actually really last. So I always have quite gappy brows and they are both quite different. Luckily I did pluck them actually yesterday. Okay, so let's give myself a little bit more of an arch and answer some more questions at the same time. Life in Galaxy, I'm 13. Oh, do you recommend any skincare or makeup for teen skin? That's a really good question actually, because I think especially when you're a teenager, you know, I would imagine your budget's probably going to be a lot smaller, which naturally so. And I know when I was younger, I couldn't afford, you know, high-end skincare. I really couldn't. So for me, I remember using brands like Garnier even. Like, you know, now you can get micellar water from brands like Simple, Garnier, really affordable. And I also think the French pharmacy skincare brands are a lot more affordable than kind of the high-end ones. Again, Dycium, the Ordinary, is incredibly affordable. When you're 13, you know, your skin is still developing as well, so I would avoid anything too harsh when you're that young. I would go with, you know, just opt with anything that's really moisturising, and just make sure like you're getting the moisture into your skin, and keep your skin clean, so washing it properly, even if that's just with a hot water and flannel. So I hope that answers that one. Let's have a look. Have you tried Laneige skincare? It's South Korean. I found it amazing for my dry skin. No, I haven't, but I always write down what you guys suggest, so whenever I'm in that area, I can kind of pick them up. By the way, I have a makeup channel. I'll go have a look at that afterwards, Paola. Let's see. Favourite foundations that are nice and dewy for dry skin, but offers quite decent coverage. I still love the Chanel Vitalumiere, so like just the standard Vitalumiere I think has quite good coverage, and I tend to use that a lot on mature skin as well, and skin that is kind of lacking hydration or a little bit drier. We've got a brow, okay, this is good. Yeah, I really like that one. What else do I like? The Suki one is really nice, it comes in the jar, very, very pricey though, and actually that's not as full coverage. I would say the Chanel one has a bit more coverage. Let's have a look. I need to breathe. I'm like, whoo. This is so fun. Let's have a look. I can get it from Sephora, the Laneige. Thank you so much, Elise. I'm going to check that out. My kind husband got me a Sephora voucher for Christmas. Gotta love that. So I'm definitely going to have some Sephora fun sometime this week. Okay, let's get a brow on. So I definitely find like my brows on this side, my brows are just so different, but I'm totally okay with it. I kind of weirdly like them being a little bit different. And do a little bit of that. Brows on. In fact, I feel like one is a little bit bigger now. Yeah, that'll do. Let's have a look. Greetings from Greece. Hi, Rose. Can you get... Oh, no, someone's saying about the Sephora thing. Okay. What is a good foundation or powder for combination skin to stop shine throughout the day? I think it depends on how much coverage you want as well, guys. So I think... Which one do I like? Good... foundation or powder for combination skin. I do like, there's one that Shiseido do, a really nice one. I can't remember what it's called, but they have a lovely one that's like a sort of matte velvet finish that I find really long lasting and great for combination skin. Excuse me. And then what else do I like? I'm trying to think of one that's a little bit more affordable. I'll come back to that one. Josie Moran Vibrancy Foundation is great. Thanks, Amy. I'm going to check that out as well. I really hope there's a way I can save the chat at the end so that I can look through it all. Hi from Mexico. Is the Tom Ford Illuminating Primer worth it? Again, with Tom Ford, I think it's one of those brands that it does do beautiful products, and I genuinely love it. In my pro kit, on myself, it always feels like a treat to use it. I think it's amazing, but I don't think you have to spend that much money to get an amazing illuminating primer. So there are ones on the market that are more affordable. So I don't think it's like a necessary product, but I do love it. So I hope that kind of long-windedly answers the question. I'm obsessed with this at the minute, guys. This is the Lancome Ton Idole stick. And, ooh, where are we going? This one, I love it for contour, actually, with the same brush. Hi from Edinburgh. Hi, Carol. Sephora offers fantastic starter pack. Ooh, okay. Sephora has a starter pack, guys, of the Laneige, is that how I say it? Products for less than $40. Does my hubby like makeup? Not on himself, but on me. I like where that question was going. So I'm just going to do a... I'm going to need the mirror. I feel like it's the wrong way round when I do it, looking into my screen. Just a little bit there. Yeah, he's... One thing I have to give my husband a lot of credit for, actually, is he always says I look nice when I'm not wearing makeup. And I think that's a really lovely thing. Like, it's really lovely to have someone appreciate you in your natural form. As much as I think I appreciate myself in my natural form. So I love putting on makeup. I love the way it feels. And I think there's something very creative and personal about putting on your makeup. And I know there are days where I'm like, oh, I know makeup will make me feel better right now. And it's just for me. Even if I don't go out sometimes, it's just nice to put it on. And I enjoy putting it on. But by the very same token, I also love makeup free days. So both in equal measures. And yeah, it was a long-winded answer of saying yes, Dave is very sweet. He likes with both, I think. So so we've got a little bit more shadow contour going on now. I love how well that blends in. It's just such a good colour on me. And that one is 420 Bisque. Really love that. And it's like a satin finish, so it looks really natural on the skin. Let's have a look at other questions. Hey Harry, hi Daisy. I really struggle with eye primers. I've tried lots of silicone based ones and setting a MAC paint pot with matte shadows, but still struggle with longevity. For me, it's got to be the NARS one. The NARS one, I went back to it recently and I forgot how good it was actually. So I always recommend that one. I find it's the thinnest one as well. It doesn't leave like a layer on your eye. It really does just kind of blend in. And I think with eye primers as well, a general trick is to make sure you leave it a few seconds after you've applied it. So it's not like you kind of put it on and then go straight into your eyeshadow, because often it still has, it needs a little bit of time to dry. Let's have a look. Hello from Oregon. Hi Regan. Some of your favourite green beauty brands. Welcome to the US. Thank you. I guess by green, do you mean natural? Or do you mean kind of eco-friendly? I think there's a lot of kind of crossover within those types of brands. I do like, I can never pronounce it, the one that Lisa Eldridge used recently in her video. They sell it at Violet Grey. No, I really don't know how you pronounce it. Begins with a K. It's very pricey, but very nice. I love RMS. I think RMS I only got into this year, and that was from a model friend who introed me to it, and really, really love that. I'm going to put Harry Flick on, guys, while I'm talking to you. What have I done with my Kiko shadow, though? Not shadow, eyeliner. Literally can't live without that Kiko liner. And I recently found there is Kiko in America. I'm so excited. On Hollywood Boulevard, there is a Kiko, which made me very, very happy. What have I done with that? Okay, it's at the bottom. Panic over. Genuinely was a little bit worried then. So my Kiko liner, where is the camera? All the writing's rubbed off. Okay, let's have a look. Hi Harry. Hi Marina. Thank you. Love your channel. I have crazy dark circles, but I don't like using makeup that looks too heavy. Any concealer recommendations? Or do you know of any eye creams that work well for darkness? I do like the Origins Ginseng. That's really nice for brightening. I do like the La Prairie one, but it's very, very pricey. I think it's called White Caviar. I think concealers for brightening, anything with like a salmony undertone is good, depending on how dark your skin tone is, obviously. If you have a darker skin tone, go for a more peach. I still really like the Estee Lauder one, the one that's like the full coverage little circle one. I think it's called High Cover or something. The double wear, that's really, really nice. What else is good? I can do my eyeliner while we discuss this. So I'm not even gonna do any eyeshadow or anything on my eyes, because I'm probably just gonna go for a walk down the beach and maybe get a nice cup of coffee with my husband. So very chill day, and take the dog with us, obviously, because that's like our job while we're here. So let's just turn this into some kind of Harry Flick. It's gonna be like that video where the flick gets bigger and bigger. I love that thing, you know, where it's like keep going, keep going. And I'm just going to fill that in. And I don't really go all the way along, actually, I've noticed. I tend to do just like half an eye. I quite like that for every day because it just elongates my eyes. Probably doing that thing where I start one story and then go straight into another, because I'm sort of multitasking to the max. Lisa, like, yeah, Kajal Weiss? Oh God, pronunciation is not my strong point, guys. Love your makeup tutorials, love from Morocco. Thank you so much. Caroline B, love from Argentina. Hi Carolina B. This is so fun. I really enjoy this. Do you guys like me doing the live streaming? Do you think it's something I should do more often? I feel like I've got one hair as well that I can feel, but I can't see where it's gone. That's brilliant. Find it in a minute. Let me know if you like this kind of live streaming thing, and maybe I'll include it maybe like a couple of times a month, because it's just really nice to actually talk to you guys and, you know, ask you questions and you ask me. I like the informalness of it. Let's have a look. We'll check them out. Do you have any opinion on the on the technique of applying light layers of powder between each layer of product you apply, supposed to increase longevity and fill in wrinkles? For me, it's not something I do. Definitely try it. I think there's no one right or wrong way kind of doing makeup. I think for me, the thin layers I definitely agree with. I think with powder though, as soon as you go back over the top of powder, you are layering more product, and I just think you want to keep the skin looking fresh. So for me, I would still go for like thin layers. Let's just correct this flick, it's going a bit AWOL. There we go, we're back. But yeah, I think the powder in between every layer, I think it would depend as well how many layers you were going to put on, because that could become problematic and look cakey quite quickly. So if anything, I tend to use powder and then like a setting spray if I really want extra longevity. Okay, let's see what I'm saying. Yes, live streaming from Chicago. Whoop! I think it's pronounced like KR. What? Why? Even when people are trying to help me pronounce it, I still can't pronounce it. I love that. The live stream is fun. Yay! Okay, I'm really glad you guys are liking it. Okay. Do you get... Okay, so Sarah says, do you get starstruck? You do an amazing flick. Thank you. I have age hooded eyes. Well, I still think hooded eyes are really sexy. I feel like everyone worries so much about hooded eyes, but people with hooded eyes can do like the easiest smoky eye. You can just put kohl on and smudge it and you look done. Like, I genuinely think hooded eyes are very, very sexy. Do I get starstruck? Do you know what? It's funny because of all the people I've worked with, one of the only times I ever got really excited was, that sounds awful, not really excited, but maybe the nearest to starstruck was when I did Joanna Lumley from Absolutely Fabulous. So I don't know if anyone in America will know her. She's in quite a few other films as well. Like I think she's in, wait, what is she in? She must have been in like loads of different films here as well, but she's like an English icon. And she's just got like such a sexy voice still for like a woman who's much older. And I just love working with her. She was fantastic. And I remember saying to her like, oh, Joanna, what would you like for your makeup today? And she was like, darling, pile it on. And I just loved it. I was just like, oh my God, it's Ab Fab. So yeah, I really love doing her. But generally, no, I don't get starstruck. I feel like famous people are just people. So yeah, that's the long answer of it. Let's have a look. Elaine, I love her. Are you able to work in the US already? Or are you waiting on some sort of visa? How do you find that makeup gigs differ in the UK? That's an interesting question from Amy. Yeah, I have a visa, so I'm here to work. I think award season will be when it kind of all kicks off here, and we kind of came here so we could have a little bit of a holiday first. I've started doing a few shoots here and there, but generally January is sort of when everything will kick off from. Obviously out here there's a lot more celebrity. I would say if you want to do lots of fashion work as a makeup artist, London and New York, there's more of that kind of work. There's still a lot of like advertising out here, so there's a bit of everything, but I like that I can do red carpet and kind of work on, yeah, those sort of things as well. Okay, let's see. Lots of people saying they love Joanna Lumley. Was she hilarious? Yeah, she was amazing. Like, I really was like, girl crush. Like, I loved it. It was something like that that really impressed me. Okay, so Sweet Marzipan says, hi Harry, makeup sprays do have some alcohol in them. Did you ever have an allergic reaction to any of them? You can get ones without alcohol in now, you just have to check the label. Let's just have a look how these flicks are looking. I think I'm happy with that, that'll do. So yeah, you just have to check whether or not they have it in. I personally have never found a problem with them. You can even try making your own setting sprays. One thing you can do is get like essential oils, and you can put like a drop of, for example, orange oil or your favourite scent into water actually, and you can make your own one. So that's something I used to do when I was first starting out. So you can make sure obviously there's no alcohol in them. Obviously you still might have sensitivities to anything that you add, so any oils for example, but you definitely can get them without alcohol. Okay, Urban Decay Chill or All Nighter, can't decide which to try. Thanks Claire. I think All Nighter, that's the one with the purple lid, isn't it? That's always the one I go back to. Hi Ashley, could you please recommend a greyish fine tip eyeshadow pencil? Oh, eyebrow pencil, sorry. Mostart, the Suki one, and get it in the moss green. I know it sounds scary, and even when I first tried it I was like, but it is grey, it's not green. So when it actually goes onto your brows, it looks more grey, it's very cool toned, and it's brilliant, and it does not budge. So that is what I would go for that. I'm forgetting I'm supposed to be doing my makeup, guys. I feel like I want to ask you some questions as well. Let's have a look. So you are the only makeup artist that my fiance and I like watching together. Oh, that's so cute. It's because you seem so real and you aren't constantly trying to pimp out products. Thank you for staying true to yourself. Thank you very much, Amy. That's a very nice comment. One discovery that is I'm really loving at the minute is my Kevyn Aucoin eyelash curlers. How was I so late to the bandwagon on this, guys? Has anybody else got them? I feel like they are actually better than the Shu Uemura ones. And I do love my Shure Mirror one, so I think that says, I mean, look at that, hopefully, if I get close. Look at that! Okay, let's have a look. It's curl lashes. Just put more time for makeup. You are an enabler. Claire, I am. You should know that about me by now. I love makeup. I just do. Okay, let's have a look. What long wear foundation is best for combination skins? Nose is super oily, the rest is dehydrated. Ooh, that's a good one. I think it depends as well if you're more oily or more dry or literally a combo of the two. Again, that Shiseido one is really good. I'll put it in the description box later when I remember the name of it. So I'm going to use the Ciate Wonder Wand mascara. Let's put a little bit of that on. Not sure how much I love this mascara yet. I feel like I'm still testing it out, but it's the one that's with me while I'm away. Let's have a look. What's your favourite look to create? Least favourite? Oh, that's a good question. Favourite look? I think on other people, I do love doing skin. Like, skin is my obsession. I'll actually rush my own skin. And then when I'm with other people, like, just go to town on making it beautiful. And I think everyone feels amazing when their skin looks good. I don't really have a least favourite. I mean, you know, I'm trying to think of, yeah, I don't have one. I don't have a least favourite. I mean, I think sometimes if I've had loads of shoots where all I've done is skin, I'm like, oh, I'm excited for a big creative editorial, or someone that maybe I'll work with that is really fun with their makeup and, you know, quite experimental. That becomes really enjoyable. But I think it's more just about what I'm in the mood for as well. On myself, I do love a Harry flick. I feel dressed when I've got a Harry flick. Let's have a look. Favourite all year round moisturiser. Hope you're loving life. Thanks, Caroline, I am. Again, I feel like that you're making me commit, guys, to like one product, which I just really struggle to do. I am loving the Kate Somerville Peptide K8 at the minute. That is the one that I keep going back to. And that's because I had it for a while and then stopped using it, and now I've got it back again. My skin's just like, yes. But you know what's funny? Even since I've been in California, my chin has broken out quite a lot, and my skin tends to not break out regularly. I feel like sometimes with hormones, if it's that time of the month, I might get the odd one in my top lip or my chin, but definitely since I've been here, I have been breaking out a little bit more. So I think my skin is like adjusting almost to, maybe it's the drier air, I think. So I definitely have done a couple more sheet masks just to get some extra hydration in there. I want to ask you guys a question as well. We've got a problematic lash here. Do like a bit of clogging though. So I even wrote down questions to ask you guys just in case no one was going to speak to me. So I want to know what you guys like want help with generally, like so I can make more content as well for this year. Just be good to know what kind of things you guys want me to do videos on. Like, what's the hardest part of putting your makeup on that kind of stresses you out, if there is anything. Okay, let's have a look. Love to have a Harry flick. I've got the same Maybelline lash curlers for about 15 years. Wow! Are expensive curlers life-changing? Are they really worth it? Well, how is your Maybelline one? I feel like that's the important question. It's like, if your Maybelline one is genuinely amazing, then there's no need to change. But you can change the little rubber band that comes with them as well. Sometimes that makes them tighter again. I've used the Shure Mirror ones for ages. I still really want to try the Surratt ones because everyone tells me they're amazing. I'm literally going to leave my concealer till the end because I'm that sweaty. Let's have a look. Pick for contour brush. I just mix it up. I do like using a brush that already has a bit of foundation on when I'm doing contour brush, like brushing in contour. I feel like it just goes in that little bit softer, so you can see where I put my contour. Hopefully it's coming through like I just look like it's my cheekbones, not crazy contouring. Let's have a look. My liquid eyeliner is the worst. Oh, Nina. Well, we're going to get there. We're going to get there together. Let's have a look. I found it affects my skin. Thanks, Claire. Yeah, someone was saying to me that local water can, like the change in it, can affect your skin. Let's have a look. What highlighters do you recommend for pale skin? I think Becca does a really good range, like really, like there is something for every skin tone. But I also love Kevyn Aucoin have just come out with, I don't know if it's actually online yet or if it's about to launch, but I saw at their preview, they have the Celestial pressed like powder highlighter, and they do it in a palette where it starts from light and goes to darker tones, so you can literally, as you tan throughout the year, you can swirl them together, or you can go for like a nice icy tone. But yeah, I would say anything that, you know, just looks very brightening on the skin, you want to go, I wouldn't go for anything too yellow if you have very, very pale skin, otherwise it will kind of just sit apart from the rest of the makeup. Breathe, Harry. I'm going to put some pawpaw on actually because my lips, that's the other thing, since I've been here my lips have been so dry, so I'm going to use some Lucas pawpaw ointment. You should do some reddish makeup look. Okay, so we feel like the whole Chanel vibe, the Kirsten, is it Kirsten or Kristen? I never remember her name, Stuart. And let's have a look. Hardest part is keeping proper moisturised during winter. Which makeup base works best for dry skin for windy winter? One thing I would say for dry skin in winter is add more night oil in. I feel like if you don't use a nighttime oil at the minute under your current moisturiser and you have dry skin, definitely try adding a little bit of that before your moisturiser, just so your skin, it kind of goes through the layers as well. Moisturising foundation, I do love the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder. I think that's a really lovely one. Videos I would like to see, how to get out of a makeup. It says tut, but I imagine that was a rut. I love that sauce, but rut. Yeah, ruts. So yeah, okay, well by a rut, what are we talking? Are we talking smudging eyeliner? Let me know specifically what you kind of want to know, or would you like a video, like an overall of like how to get out of general makeup ruts? Okay, let's see. Some videos you're doing Harry flicks on different people, different kind of eye shapes. Would love to do that. I really want to do a video with Harry flicks for every eye shape. I feel like I need models for that. So once I've lived here a little bit longer and I've got some different faces, and I'll definitely get onto that. Okay, let's have a look. Do you think some people have an eye shape that can never pull off a winged liner? That's a really good question, Courtney. I think, again, we have to be realistic with how, not we wear makeup, but I think how we adapt it to suit us. So in terms of, I think makeup does have no rules, but if there's a certain look you're trying to achieve, it's always going to be a little bit more difficult, you know, in terms of working with how your features, going a very long-winded way of saying this, I think it's knowing how to adapt things to suit your eye shape. So if we're talking about eyes specifically, with winged liner, you know, if you have a very, very hooded lid, doing a Harry flick like my shape is always going to be more problematic and more stressful to try and create, and it's not going to flatter the eye shape. So it might be that your liner stops a lot earlier, that you're just kind of shading along the lash line using a different product, but there are ways and techniques of doing it so that you have your version of a Harry flick, if that makes sense. Glamour Festival, will you be there? Oh, where is that? I don't even, is that in the UK though? I think that might be the UK. I have hooded eyes. Will matte eyeshadow make my eyes look less vibrant? I feel so. What is the best eyeshadow combo for 50-something skin? I think again, I did a video on my mum with a shimmery eyeshadow, and I feel like everyone was so surprised because, you know, I think it depends again about the tones, it depends about the rest of the makeup you're wearing. I love matte eyeshadows, and I think for creating a crease or cheating a socket line higher up if you have hooded eyes, matte shadows are great for that. But I do love, you know, subtle shimmers, like the Tom Ford quads have shimmers in, and I do use those on older clients. So I think it's a lot about personal preference as well, and what feels like you and your personality. Let's have a look. Sheila, hi Sheila. That's who I just answered the question to. Sorry Sheila. Hi Harry, hi Neela. Okay, so I'm going to crack on. I feel like I need some concealer because I just keep wiping my face because I'm so warm. So we're going to have to do it and just hope I don't melt. So I'm going to do my Urban Decay one. I might have to pat with a tissue, guys. Literally, it's only 24 degrees today in California, but in Los Angeles, sorry. And I feel really, really warm. So I feel like my eyes have been very dark recently, actually. So I'm going to use this brush from Tarte, because I would normally use my Real Techniques setting brush, but I'm going to be honest, it needs a clean. So I'm just going to use this. I just love concealer. I feel like concealer is like the best makeup invention maybe ever. What did we do before concealer? Let's have a look. Oh, favourite makeup brand? Guys, you know I can't commit to that. I don't know anyone that can say they just have one favourite makeup brand. There's lots that I love. And I feel like I go to different brands for different things. So there are certain brands that I know if I want like really luminous natural skin I go to. If I want loads of colours and bright eyeshadows I go to. It literally just depends on the look that I'm trying to create. Oh, love concealer. Let's see. So, how often do I clean my brushes? That's a really good question. For me, my kit ones after every single job, literally after every single job. Myself, once a week, that's the truth. I feel like once a week, if they're just your own brushes, that's fine. You can spot clean in between with like, what's it called? Isoprene alcohol, I think it's called, you can buy. But yeah, a proper clean, a deep clean at least once a week if it's your own brushes. And if you're working as a makeup artist, they definitely should be clean for every single job without a fail. Let's have a look. Did you find it moving to America? I'm thinking of moving to Florida, but I'd miss my family so much. Oh, Neela. It is hard. I think it's, excuse me. I think if my husband had not wanted to have come and we were doing the move together, I know it would have been harder. In that if he'd not wanted to come, I would have felt guilty wanting to do the move. And I think I was very, very lucky that we both wanted to do this. So I do miss my family. Me and my sister are like proper besties. So I'm missing her a lot. But then I also know that, you know, life is about chances and opportunities and experience. And I know she wanted me to do it as well, even though we're going to miss each other like mad. FaceTime, Skype makes it so much easier nowadays. So when we FaceTime lots and, you know, it doesn't ever feel like I'm never going to see her again. You know, we still hang out on our FaceTime, and she's coming out in January, which I'm really excited about, with her husband. So yeah, I kind of feel like, you know, you have to take opportunities, and I think you have to do what's right for you. Let's have a look. God, breathe again. Let's have a look. So is that Mazal? What are your Mac starter kit recommendations? That's a really good question. Oh, I've got itchy nose. Mac starter kit. I think the eyeshadow palettes, like the neutrals and the warms, are really great because you can double them up as brow products as well, save you having to buy extra brow products when you're starting out. Again, the cream products they do, you could use as lip and cheek, so that's a great way to kind of, when you're starting out, double up on products so that you're not having to buy extras. And face and body is great for a starter makeup kit because you can buy them either in the big ones with other makeup artists' friends maybe and split them up into little bottles, or they do them in smaller bottles now. And I find you can get like the light shades, some medium and some dark, and then you can always mix between them, and that's a really good tip. Let's have a look. You're welcome. So Amy, are you attending IMAX in LA in a couple of weeks? I'm so rubbish. I still don't know even what all the YouTube events are. I would love to go to some of them, but I think because I'm still settling in, it will just depend on what's happening with work, etc. But I would love to go to some of those just to see other YouTubers as well and what they're doing, because I am a YouTube geek. I do really enjoy watching other people on YouTube. I find it very, very relaxing. Even people that maybe don't have the same makeup style as me or fashion style as me. I just like people watching, I guess. Okay, so is Harry your full name or nickname? So that's from Regan. It is I guess it's my nickname, but put it this way, Harriet feels like I'm in trouble. So if I hear my mum say Harriet, it's like, ooh, what have I done? Even as an adult. Whereas Harry is what all my friends know me as, it's what my husband calls me, and I've been that kind of since I was like 13, but Harriet is my original name. Let's have a look. Man, it is so warm in here, guys. Woo! I'm gonna have to do a little, need like a fan. Let's have a look. Best makeup brand for NC42, NC45 skin tone. Ooh, I really like Becca for darker skin tones. I think they do darker skin tones very well, as Kevyn Aucoin. They're essential skin enhancers. You can buy one of those, mix moisturiser into it to make it a foundation. You've got your perfect concealer. Really, really good for darker skin tones. Let's have a look. What is your favourite drugstore medium full coverage foundation for dry skin? I think it is harder to find like really full coverage ones. I wouldn't say it's crazy full coverage, but I do love the Bourjois one, the Healthy Mix. I think that's a really, really nice drugstore foundation. You guys have to let me know what American drugstore foundations I have to try. I've heard a lot about LA Girl, is it? Let me know if anyone's tried that one. So I'm now going to do a bit of the Hourglass. Let's do a bit of powder just so I don't sweat it all off. So mostly on my chin. And let's do a little bit, set my face. Because I'm not even going to do any mascara on the bottom today because I can't be bothered. Have a look. Fave YouTubers, that is a good question. I will forever love Lily Pebbles and the Anna Edit because they helped me out so much when I first started on YouTube. I met Lily on a shoot where I was doing her makeup, And yeah, just really supportive, really lovely girls. I think they both really consider their content. And who else do I like? I mean, my geeky obsession, like actual YouTubers that I watch more of, is planner videos. Like literally, my thing is planner videos. My husband thinks it's hilarious, me watching a video with a file of facts and someone showing how they write in it. It is my guilty pleasure. I love it. Let's have a think. Ooh, good question. Okay, Neela, what do you think of Instagram makeup trends? I feel like everyone should be entitled to do what makes them feel fantastic. So if I definitely feel like with the beauty world, there are almost like two kinds of makeup. There is kind of makeup that I think myself does, where I'd hope to think my makeup is real looking, it's about accentuating your features, it's about makeup empowering you. And I think there is makeup that is a lot more full coverage and a lot more, I don't want to say artificial looking, because I feel like even if it does look artificial, if you love that, then that doesn't matter. I feel like makeup is about what makes you feel good, and the whole fun of makeup is experimenting and having fun with it. So I think it's not to my taste in terms of how I like to wear my makeup, but I have friends who love that kind of makeup, and I totally get why. It's very escapist, it's not looking real, which is quite fun for a lot of people. So I totally understand it and I respect it. And I think it's great that we, all have different things that we like. So hope that answers that question. I think I'm going to do any lip, maybe a little bit of lip. Do it with the Victoria Beckham Brazilian Nude. Still loving this. Oh no, I've got the talking lines. Don't you hate that when you get that when you put lip balm on and you talk loads and you get the whole white lines? So hot. Okay. Okay, so what is your favourite mid-range makeup brushes? I still really love Zoeva. I think Zoeva do such a good range. And I always go back to their brushes. Real Techniques, I think, is available worldwide pretty much. It's really easy to get hold of. Very, very good quality brushes at a very affordable price. Their setting brush is literally one of my favourites. I'm just hopping a little bit of that on, that'll do. I've got such an itchy face, it's crazy. And then while I'm answering these, I'm just going to do, this is an old Estee Lauder palette from Summertime. I love this. I think if ever you can get like a palette that has like a blusher, bronzer and highlight, they're just so good for travelling. So I'm going to go back to my RMK brush, which I love. I'm going to do a bit of the bronze just while we talk, just to cheat that I've lived in Los Angeles for longer than I have. Let's have a look. Hi Hi Harry, love your vids. What do you think is the best foundation for covering acne prone skin with texture issues? I do have a video that's all about covering acne, which definitely check that out because it's loads of advice on that and really specific product choices. I do really like a thinner base, like the Clinique, I think it's called the Anti-Redness or Redness Solutions one, and then using something like a higher coverage concealer on top. So like the Kevyn Aucoin Essential Skin Enhancer or the Vichy Derma Blend is really, really good. Let's go to a mirror so I make sure I don't turn around and suddenly be super orange in a minute. Let's do a bit in my hairline. Let's have a look. Ride or Die luxury product. Oh, I think off the top of my head, I really do love that Victoria Beckham Morning Aura. And even when I first tried it, I wasn't that fussed, but I really noticed the difference in the benefits it's given my skin. That might not be the same for everyone. I'm just adding blush now, guys. I'm not still going in with the bronzer. Just a little bit of blush. Let's have a look. Is there a food from the UK you miss? Oh my god, Amy, mince pies. I so miss mince pies. Having Christmas here has been so funny because obviously like they have roast dinner, and even with what was it, Thanksgiving, I had kind of similar foods. But I really miss English chocolate. I miss Galaxy. You can get Dairy Milk out here and you can get PG Tips out here, but they're like $9 for a small box of tea. So I miss English tea a lot. Let's do a bit of highlight. So from that same palette, I'm just going to pop some highlight on. So we've got a little bit of glow. That's better. Yeah, I really missed mince pies this Christmas. I just kept thinking about them. I was like, oh, what do I do for a mince pie? Let's have a look. Oh, that's so nice. I'm so glad that you're loving the 5-minute videos I've started doing. More on those on the horizon. I'd love to see some fun tutorials, editorial. Crazy, not every day looks so fun. Cool, I'm game. I'm there. Yeah, I feel like, excuse me, The editorial looks, I know they're not for everyone, but I really like as well. I think one series I'd like to try more of is doing like runway to reality. So I can kind of show you how you could make it wearable, but then also kind of doing the runway version as well would be really fun. And I love doing the 5-minute videos, guys. They're so much fun for me to do, and it's a nice way I can get more videos in because they don't take me ages to film because they're 5 minutes. So that is highlight on, looking a bit more sheeny. Just run out of my Jo Malone perfume, so I'm gutted about that. Let's have a look. Kelly McLaren, love you, Harry. Oh, I prefer like natural coverage. Can you recommend a good tinted moisturiser? Anything by Laura Mercier. I also really love the NARS ones as they have the teeniest bit more coverage. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I've never travelled to Asia, but I would love to. Oh, I would love to go to Tokyo. Literally, I would so love to go there. I would go nuts on eyelashes. I would buy lots of cool eyelashes. Cool, that's good that people are liking the runway to reality idea. Please do your top picks from US Beauty. Okay, I really want to do that. I feel like I need like another 2 months to live here because in my LA haul video, I got so many good suggestions of like other shops that I have to try. I think, is it Namie's? Nigel's? There was quite a few different shops that I haven't tried yet. I've done Violet Grey now. Beautiful shop. Very expensive though. Let's have a look. So I will do that. That is something I'm going to do. But I also wanted to say, guys, as well, if you've enjoyed this like live streaming video, I think I'm going to do more of them because it's just a really nice way to chat to you guys and find out, you know, what you're enjoying, what you'd like to see more of. And I can still keep it fun for me as well, which is really nice. So I'm going to put a link as well to a webinar, which is, it's not quite the same layout as this, but I did a webinar ages ago when a lot of people have basically been asking for more information about my All About That course, which currently has a 15% discount on. So I'm going to leave a webinar, which is down below, which has so much free content in terms of like more advice on skin. So I even wrote down my bullet points of excuse me, my bullet points of what you can expect in that webinar, because I think especially this Q&A format, people seem to really like that they can get specific questions answered. So I'm going to republish the webinar again, and it will have the code as well for 15% off the course. And just to give you an idea of what the webinar is, it's called Red Carpet Skin in Real Time. And it's going to cover my 3 Ps, which is kind of like my signature point of makeup. How to find your skin's undertone, how to find the right base products for you, colour matching tips. It's got my pro tips as well that I use when I'm working with celebrities, how to prioritise time. So, you know, if you've only got 10 minutes, what you should be doing in your base. If you've only got 5 minutes, you've only got a minute, there's literally kind of tips on how to prioritise time. I also talk about how to get the red carpet glow, the tricks that will save you time and money, and also how to kind of make like a capsule makeup bag that will work for you and your skin type, and ingredients. So that's not the course, that's just an extra webinar, which is like this, kind of a more lengthy, in-depth, kind of like educational tutorial for anyone who wants to know more about skin, which I'm going to, at the end of this video, pop into this description box so you can go see it. So there's a link to that. Let's have a look. So just having a look if there's anything else. That's any questions. IMATS is the International Makeup Artist Trade Show. Oh, I definitely will then, because we have something similar in London, which I've been to, but I hear YouTubers talk about IMATS. Did you bring all of your makeup with you to LA? Do you know what? I didn't. I gave so much away to friends and family, and I kind of already, since I've been here, I've been to quite a few events. I've been very, very lucky that I've been very well looked after, and I'm enjoying still like shopping in Sephora. It's like starting afresh. So I brought my kind of base kit with me, like 2 suitcases, and sadly the rest is kind of staying at home till I figure out, you know, how long we're staying here, what's happening. So any tips for finding nude lipsticks for tan girls, women of colour? Yep, I've got a blog post coming up on that actually very, very soon in January, so make sure you look out for that. I always think with a good nude, you just want to look at the natural tones that are in your lips and maybe go just 1 or 2 shades lighter. I would never go extreme in terms of too light, otherwise it looks a bit deathly. So I would say that. Oh, thank you, Inez. Love your pro tips and friendly videos. Would be great to know your thoughts on the best makeup brands with good skin benefits. Organic ingredients, especially foundations. Barbecue cream? BB cream. I did think then, I was like, oh. I think, again, I really do like RMS, but it's so funny because I don't feel like there's one brand I can say this is perfect for sensitive skin, because there are great brands for sensitive skin, but like the funny thing is I'm actually more sensitive to like oil, to like botanicals. So my skin actually prefers chemicals, which is really weird for a lot of people to get their head round. But I break out more when anything has like a lemony scent. If it has eucalyptus in, makes my eyes stream like mad. So I don't feel like there's one brand that's like perfect for everyone. It's just trial and error, unfortunately. So I'm Regan, I'm so glad you've enjoyed it. Thank you. I'm so happy that people showed up and we've had a chat. I'll leave this video up. I'm probably going to watch it back and cringe like mad that I've probably done one eyebrow and forgotten another eyebrow, but hey, that's the fun of live streaming. I can see my humidity, like Monica, my hair's like frizzing outwards as I'm getting warmer. I think I'm going to go enjoy some of this lovely, lovely LA weather, which I absolutely adore. So definitely check in the next sort of like 5-10 minutes. It should be in the description box, the link that you can go see the webinar, or it will come up in the subscription feed because I will publish it. And that's got loads more pro tips, and it's like a really in-depth webinar that I worked really hard on. So there's loads and loads of like great value in there in terms of like free content and pro tips. So check that out. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you so much for coming to the live stream. And yeah, I really hope I really hope that we get to do another live stream. So I'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much. Bye.